Kunal is ready and he's looking fresh and refreshed. Haji.
Yeah.
When you went, it was only hot sun and summer.
Yeah.
Now it's raining.
Yeah, the weather changed dramatically.
Yeah.
For India. I mean, for Mumbai.
Weather has changed for everybody. Trust me. Even for Donald Trump, weather is changing right now. He's not been able to negotiate any deal. So weather is changing for everybody.
Yeah.
But the weather is not changing for a Nifty trader. The weather still remains that at upper level there is supply, at lower level there is demand. So when will the weather change or trend change for Nifty?
So the only thing which I've noticed over the last 2-3 days, Nikunj, is that the Bank Nifty and the financials are making a comeback. So why is this very important and relevant? Is because when we started off this rally from the 22,000 mark for the indices, that was the only sector which was performing very well. So somehow in the last 1 month or so, the Bank Nifty and the financials were underperforming. We saw many of the private sector banking names, HDFC, ICICI, etc., going into a more of a contracted range over the last 1 month. And now these stocks are making a comeback for themselves. That I believe is a very positive sign for the overall context of the markets. And I think looking at the way the construct of the sectoral churn has been, I would believe that potentially over the next say 2 or 3 weeks, we could be looking at a fresh high or a lifetime high for the banking index, and that I think could propel the markets even further. So we were into a phase of a churn on the Nifty as well as on the sectoral front, but I believe that phase is now potentially over, and we are looking at a resumption of an uptrend, especially for Bank Nifty and the banking index.
I want to, before I go to Chandan, I just want to look at the FI, DI data, FI, FNO, and then map it up with Nifty. The point which Kunal was just discussing, that it's not that FIs are selling. And look at that block deal, 10,000 crore. I think this includes Indigo for sure. But still 10,000 crore, hello. 10,000 crore and no selling by foreign institutional investors. And yet Nifty seems to be jamming at higher levels. So the point is, who's selling? And if institutional investors are not selling, then why are markets getting jammed at higher levels? Chandan, what's your take?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. So as you mentioned, Nikunj, that market is slightly jumping up. It's not, it's inching up, not jumping up. So we have seen the hold of support, but sustained supply is clearly visible near 25,000 marks. I believe the supply is happening because of the monthly expiry, as most of the call writers are being the writing at 25,000 strike, and 3 to 4 times they try to safeguard 25,000 marks. The good part is that we have 2 more days for monthly expiry, and we are 2.5% up on series basis, and almost 200 points higher than its volume weighted average. That comes near 24,630 marks. So I believe 24,630 could act as a support, but at the same time, the call writing activity is at 25,000, which can provide as a hurdle. So I'll play the range bound bias with buy on decline stance in between 24,650 to 25,000 marks. And after 2 days, once the 25,000 surpasses, I believe the next leg of rally cannot be ruled out, which can take the index towards 25,300 to 25,500 levels.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.